Choose to live or die. Word of the day. King Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold, 90 feet high and 90 feet wide, and set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. He then summoned the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other provincial officials to come to the dedication of the image he had set up. So the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all other provincial officials assembled for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before it. Then the herald loudly proclaimed, "This is what you are commanded to do. O people, nations, and men of every language, soon as you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace." Therefore, as soon as they heard the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, and all kinds of music, all the peoples, nations, and men of every language fell down and worshipped the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. At this time, some astrologers came forward and denounced the Jews. They said to the King Nebuchadnezzar, "O king, live forever. You have issued a decree, O king, that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music must fall down and worship the image of gold, and that whoever does not fall down and worship will be thrown into a blazing furnace. But there are some Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who pay no attention to you. O king, they neither serve your gods nor worship the image of gold you have set up." Furious with rage, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these men were brought before the king. Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 to 8. How big was the golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar built? 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. 1 feet is about 46 centimeters, 27 meters high, and 2.7 meters wide. Whoever does not bow down to the golden image of Nebuchadnezzar, what type of punishment was given? Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. At that time, Babylon was a superpower that dominated the Mediterranean. Nebuchadnezzar was a king of absolute power. To disobey the king's order was to risk his life. Who rebelled against the king's orders? Daniel chapter 3, verse 12. But there are some Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who pay no attention to you, O king. They neither serve your gods nor worship the image. The king gives them one more chance. And what is their answer? Daniel chapter 3, verse 16 to 17. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it, and he will rescue us from your hand, O king. But even if he does not, we want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you have set up." At that time, winning and losing a country was a battle between the gods of that country. Israel was destroyed and the people were taken captive. It seemed that God had been defeated by the god of Babylon, but in fact, he wasn't. What does the Bible say about Israel's defeat by Babylon? Daniel chapter 1, verse 2. And the Lord delivered Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand. It is recorded that Judah was defeated by Babylon, and the Lord delivered it into his hand. They did not give up their belief that God is sovereign over the entire universe. They confess that their lives are in the hands of God. So what happened after Daniel's 3 friends confessed their faith? Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. If we make a decision of faith, we hope that God will lead us in a gentle and prosperous manner, but sometimes we face greater difficulties. At this time, God's message is, "Nevertheless, can you trust me?" What is the end result of their choice of faith? Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out, come here." So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. The king of the world thinks they can do anything to the saints with their power, but the saints are people who think that something other than God can do nothing to them. Nothing is more important than trusting in God. It may seem that God does not exist in hard situations, but even when He does not seem like He is there, believing in God even when He is silent is faith. It is not the glory of God that the three men in the text came out of the furnace. It is their decision on whether they live or die. And that is the glory of God, that they acknowledge God's absolute sovereignty. When we choose and move forward by faith, God will guide our lives for good. But even if it's not so, we as Christians must make the choice of faith, because God is sovereign over the entire universe. So in what areas do I need to fully trust in God's sovereignty? May you enjoy peace while trusting in the Lord. Thank you.